So one game, Blue Protocol, you got no end game content. You have no fucking substance. You know what I mean? TLDR, Blue Protocol, the issue with Blue Protocol, as we mentioned earlier, is that there is no end game content. There's no purpose to your vertical progression. You know, like the first end game dungeon is literally the level 10 dungeon, but just scaled up to level 50. It's boring as fuck. It's a super grind just to upgrade your character at that point, and there's no point in actually even doing it. The example that we gave earlier was, imagine if Chaos Dungeons were the end game for Lost Ark. It's like, why the fuck am I doing Chaos Dungeons? What's the point? Well, in Lost Ark, it's to do Legion raids. But imagine if there were no Legion raids. It was just more fucking Chaos Dungeons. You'd be like, why the fuck am I doing this? Right? That on top of the fact that there is no social aspect that a game like Final Fantasy has that can really carry it. That's non-existent too. So not only do you not have social aspect, but you also don't have endgame content. Fuck the gacha, fuck the pay to win. The pay to win stuff in Blue Protocol, like I said before, it's so minimal. It's actually quite small. The only predatory thing about the game, and I think this should definitely be called out, is the fact that all the costumes that you get without going through the gacha system look like ass. And even the costumes that you get through the gacha system don't look that great either. Like, there's not that many options. So that's just fucking red flag followed by red flag followed by red flag. Throne and Liberty actually has content. That's the thing. Like, Throne and Liberty actually has content, and the updates that they get are actually all really good. Like W patch after W patch. And just the way the game is designed, if you're a PvP guy, you're gonna love Throne. The issue with Throne is that the pay to win is borderline over the top. Right now, the gaps aren't too bad because it's early, but it's literally one update away from being grossly a pay to win. Okay, so far, you gotta tip your hat to them. So far. Okay, if we have to accept the fact that there is going to be pay to win, so far it's not grossly pay to win. Okay, people that are playing the game, free to play players, no one's sitting there complaining. And whenever you have a game where the free to play players aren't really complaining, that's when you know you have a pay to win system that isn't fucking. Because there's some games are really, like Revelation Online, and this isn't me justifying the pay to win system. I don't think it should be in there to begin with, but when you get games like Revelation Online and Blade and Soul, you know, Vanilla Arcades when Thunderstruck Tree loot boxes were out, you have a group of people that are like, this is so pay to win. And that's when you know you've crossed that line. Because I think most players can accept a certain level of pay to win. Obviously not everyone, but a lot of players in our day and age, they're tolerant to a certain degree. And right now, as a free-to-play player in Throne, that tolerance level, it's borderline. It's right, it's creeping, but it's still good enough. It still hasn't crossed that line. Okay. So that's like a yellow flag right now. Certainly red flag if you don't like any pay to win, right? But if you can tolerate pay to win, right now it's like a yellow flag. The issue with Throne and Liberty, the biggest issue is, number one, the confidence in NCSoft when it comes to monetization, as well as just updates in general. And their competence, especially when it comes to bots. That's the biggest thing. Fucking bots, man. That's what it is. Right now, there's a big deal with RMT and botting in Lost Ark. That's always been the case, but it's especially the case with RMTing, right? Guys, you want to know like if Throne and Liberty is to die in the West, do you know why it dies? It dies because of botting and RMT. That's what kills it. It's going to die from botting and RMT far before it dies from being overly pay to win in its current state. It's the botting situation in Throne is fucking terrible. And it's even worse because Throne and Liberty is a throne simulator. It's a throne simulator. So, like I said before, even if Throne is never a game, or excuse me, even if Throne was a game that didn't have any pay to win and it didn't have any bots, the fact that it's a throne simulator game means that it is going to simply have less players. It's never going to be as successful as even Lost Ark was when they were at its peak in the West. Or any other PvE game for that matter, simply because it's a PvP, not only PvP game, but it's not even an arena PvP game. It's a PvP game that's focused on large-scale, faction-based PvP, where the objective of the game is to take the castle, to take the throne, right? And that is always going to diminish the size of your overall population. And that's fine for some people because some people prefer that, okay? So if that's your preference, great. But obviously the flags right now come from the borderline pay to win, which right now I wouldn't say it's cross like I mentioned, and the botting situation. The botting in the RMT is the biggest issue. When you have people in the top ranks that are fucking cheating, botting, playing 24/7, and your ass is sitting there playing legit, that's a fucking problem. Because that's the case, man. Like, think about this. Imagine you're playing on a server where the server is being run by some alliance, and everyone in that alliance is just fucking botting. Like, what the fuck? It's so clear to me why, after playing this game, it's so clear to me why they actually added astral hunting in now. It's so obvious. It's so clear. I think the message was that we can't actually stop the bots. And yes, NCSoft is going out there and they're saying that they've been banning all these accounts, 5,000 accounts this week, 5,000 accounts that week. Okay, great. But homie over here that's just sitting there botting 24/7 blatantly, like I literally see his character right here botting. He's a fucking ranker. The whole game is designed around competitive content and ranking. It's like, how are you not going to ban this person? You know what I mean? It's like, yes, you should ban all bot accounts, but this person is like a significant player in the fucking player-driven content, in the player-driven world. It's like, how are you not banning these people? Like, what the fuck? Like, it's so bad. It turns you off because, like, you're sitting there like, well, I might as well bot too then. It's so bad. That's the biggest issue, man, because the player base that you will have with Throne that's playing the game for what it is and enjoy it for what it is going to ultimately be turned off based off of the fact that everyone just cheats and everyone just bots in the game, and it just creates this terrible environment. You go and do your dailies, you're surrounded by bots, just people macroing. You go in to farm an open world dungeon to make some gains. Well, congratulations, you're competing against people that are AFK botting in there. How's that going to make you feel? You're going to be turned off by the game. Oh, you and your guild want to take castle? You guys want to get rank 1 so that you can try and defend the castle? Oh yeah, you're going to be competing against level 30 plus guilds, max level guilds that are way ahead of you in activity points because they're playing 24/7 and botting. That's the reality. That is when you have that type of environment that's in your game that is focused around hyper competitive content, who's going to stay? So it's already like a small niche game that caters towards a niche player base, and you're going to lose that player base because of that. That's why I'm very adamant about fucking do something about the bots, man. It's way bigger of a problem than the pay to win.